Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 trailer is finally here, and it kicks off where we left off. Now this is with Will in the center of the aftermath of all the chaos that Vecna created. But now we know that Will is able to basically tap in or hijack the same frequency that Vecna uses to control the Demogorgons, which he uses through the Mind Flare, which is basically the central hub that Will is tapping into. Now, Holly and Max are still going around in Vecna's world trying to find another way out, or at least trying to find a way to get Holly out, because the only way for Max to get out is either Vecna gets defeated or someone plays her song so that she can follow it back into the other world. But that's one of the few things they have to worry about as Dustin finally figures out where the central hub is. He discovers that the whole wall is surrounded around one central point, and this is where everything started. He discovers that, and that it's right smack dab in Hawking's lab. Who would have thought that we're going to end right where it all started? We get a scene that they find the Mind Flare in which looks to be inside of Hawking's lab. Now in the trailer we see that they actually decided to go in there, but I don't know if this is before or after because the scenes kind of like jump and then come back, because one scene we get all three of them, Nancy, Jonathan, Dustin, Steve. Then another scene, Nancy's back in the regular world pulling a Rambo and shooting up the government facility on the other side. So this leads me to believe that once they actually saw what was down there, they decided to head back as they figured out what they needed to find out at that point and decided that it was time to regroup, assess the situation, and plan their next step. Now, while this is all happening, I'm sure that we're gonna get right at the beginning of the episode, of the very first episode to be exact, is 11 talking to 8 and letting her know that they should be working together to get Vecna and take him down. The fact that they have 8 is really good because her powers of illusion or powers to manipulate the mind, it's very powerful. So I think this would be such a clutch thing to have. Vecna's not one to take this lightly, so we're gonna see that he's gonna send his Demogorgons after Max as she's still, around his mind, and he can tell that she's there, but because he can never find her, or because every single time he tries to find her, she makes it back to the cave, and he's afraid to go through that cave. So the next best thing is to send the Demogorgons to the hospital to take him out. So then we get a scene with Vicky, which is Robin's girlfriend, and she's obviously still in the hospital because she works there with Lucas trying to protect Max's body. But there's a lot of speculation going around that Vicky might be the next to go. Which, to be honest, if she does pass, her character is kind of irrelevant to me. I know that she's Robin's love interest, but again, I still think that she's kind of an irrelevant character anyway, so she can potentially be a throwaway character to help kind of boost Robin. Now, this will obviously hurt Robin, and it's going to be a very emotional scene for Robin, especially finding out that her girlfriend was one of those victims in the hospital that was taken by the Demogorgon, or unalived by the Demogorgon. Now, through all this, we still see that Max and Holly are getting chased, and they potentially end up at the Wheeler house because they end up going through the door, but I don't know if that specific white door that they walk through kind of pushed them into the little window doorway that they go to hop back into Holly's room, or that they go through the white door and eventually make it to a different space, which they use to kick the window through to get into Holly's room. We know it's Holly's room because she has all those rainbow things in the background. We also get this really dope scene with Vecna kind of like glitching out in his own mind and then eventually getting into like his regular age appearance, his human form, and transforming into his Ozempic Vecna form, because if we compare the first one to the second Vecna, he found Ozempic. We all know he did.
No, he's got a point.
But from there on, you actually do notice that the government does end up protecting everyone in the hospital. Looks kind of really concerned, so I'm assuming the Demodog just happened to walk by, so there is a lot of government soldiers protecting the hospital. I think this hospital is going to go straight to hell once all the Demogorgons and Demodogs start to invade, and Lucas is forced to try to protect Max's body with everything that's happening and all the chaos ensuing, and obviously all the soldiers being attacked and killed in the process. One thing I want to understand is that during some of the scenes, we still see that there's a person falling from the sky just like Vecna did. Now I'm going to assume that that person falling from the top all the way down is Vecna, and we're going to get another flashback. Now, there is this whole thing about the play that's happening that it's going to give us more insight on what's in Vecna's mind, or just talking about his past, because he did go to high school with Joyce and Hopper during the time, because Joyce was handing out flyers and one of the names said Henry Creel in it. No, it's crazy because during the ending parts of the trailer, we see that Vecna, for like possible 20th time, already has said it's time for a new world with the big, huge radio wave that goes all across Hawkins or even across the world that we seen at the first trailer, but we didn't see in the first couple episodes. So that's kind of like I don't know. We start getting some crazy stuff like the fact that they were able to capture a Demogorgon and I guess trap him, and then he just gets freaking fried by Robin, and Robin looks pissed. So I'm assuming that Robin has gone with Vicky in the hospital and is possibly getting attacked by the Demogorgons. And we don't know her situation in the hospital, but she looks pissed, and that's possibly why she's ready to freaking fry the crap out of a Demogorgon. And with everything that's going on, we see that 8 is ready to fight. She was able to take down a full on soldier, with her most likely using her mental powers to get the jump on these soldiers as they do have to escape. And this facility does look really clean, so I don't know if it's the same facility or if it's a different facility that they're breaking into, but it's most likely it's the same facility because she does have her white suit where 11 and Hopper found her in. So as this trailer goes on, I see that Steve and Dustin are going through it, and they're going through that heroic moment. You die, I die, we both die together, and they better not kill off Steve or Dustin because they're the homies, and that's not gonna happen. I will riot if that happens. But there is another scene that comes with, I don't know if that's 11 or 8, but they're getting basically absorbed with the tentacle monster that grabs onto Vecna, maybe trying to tap in to the Mind Flare herself. So we also see, but I would assume that 11 and Harper did not leave the Upside Down since the last time we saw them there at with 8. So they continue on and they never leave. But the other teams, I feel like, will rejoin and then start getting back into the fight as Hopper and 11 continue on with trying to get to wherever the hell Vecna is. But again, they can't get through the wall, so maybe they do come back and they go around by going through the Radio Shack or heading into Hawking's lab and trying to find a portal there so they can sneak their way in. Now I would assume that once he attacked everybody and left Will in there to basically unlock his powers, I would assume that he went back to the center of Hawking's labs to reconnect with the Mind Flare and get back into his mind to try to figure out how to get Max and Holly. But the only thing is that Holly's obviously still in there and they can't get through the wall unless they go through Hawking's lab, or they might have found a completely different entrance in. But that's all to say that I am very excited. They finally dropped the trailer and we're so close. We're like, what, 2 weeks away from seeing what's really gonna happen. Actually, not even 2 weeks. It's like what, 10 days? It's like not even, we're so close. But what do you guys think about the trailer so far? I think the trailer had a lot of like jam-packed stuff, but still not enough to let us know what's really going on. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to see more, just like hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.